I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to read the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, we are starting to pull back. We did see a bounce off the Fibonacci level, so watch for a strong green candle. If we get one, we could push forward, and this could act as a long lower shadow, creating a rounding bottom. That'd be bad for crypto, and that'd push crypto down usually because remember they are inversely related. Momentum does want to push away. We have a double red dot. VWAP is breaking down and money flow is weakening. So overall, I would exercise caution. Over on the 1 hour here, we are kind of zigzagging around here. So we have a lower low with a higher high. So we have an attempt to make some bullish momentum here. If we follow through with a higher high and see bullish continuation form, then it's likely crypto will pull back. So the MPP did project we would pull back probably to around this 108. We are kind of stagnating here, so watch, because if we do get that push forward, we could feel the lower probability, make a higher high with another higher low, and then see that continuation. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is pretty flat. VWAP is bullish but very weak. Watch that VWAP. If it can stay bullish, momentum will continue higher and money flow could go from red to green and strengthen those higher time frames. It may take a couple days yet. So over on Bitcoin futures, or Bitcoin dominance, sorry, we did break that resistance area, that value area high from our fixed range volume profile. So we broke that and we are filling that lower percent probability. Watch if we get lower lows and continue down. Ideally, we would see this continue to break away if we're going to get that altcoin season. Our stochastic does want to push down. RSI is starting to weaken. Momentum is rounding with a red dot as that VWAP is starting to break down. With a lower high. So if we get a lower low here, momentum will break down, money flow will go from green to red, and we will see further pressure on Bitcoin dominance. But remember, Bitcoin can still go up. It just won't go up at the same pace as altcoins, which is fine because remember, altcoins did outpace Bitcoin at some point. So over on total, we are making that double bottom possibility. So watch if we can break right around that 108. If we can break that 108, that's where we could continue to that 124. RSI is pushing up, stochastic is running up, VWAP is gaining strength, momentum is pushing forward with a green dot, so we do look pretty positive. Just watch if that VWAP can stay bullish. If it can, then we will continue to bounce back. Over on Bitcoin futures, we do have that gap to the downside, but we are breaking that 100K. If we can stay above this 100K, that will be positive, and we could continue to push forward, but there's a low chance of getting a consistent high. We would want higher highs with higher lows in order to continue to push us up, or to create a double bottom here that would push us up just like total. RSI is pushing up, stochastic is gaining strength, VWAP is pushing up, momentum is pushing up, and money flow is in the green. So overall, we do look pretty positive. But watch this 1 hour. If it starts to break away, then we are going to see that daily potentially start to weaken. The MPP does project we could see a lower low around that 95K. If we see that, I would watch, because then we aren't very far from that 93K. And remember, if we break and hold below that 93K, that's likely where we would continue a bearish momentum. Our momentum does want to round away. We have a double red dot. VWAP is attempting to break down, and money flow is in the bullish territory. Watch that VWAP close. If it does make that breakdown, higher time frames are going to weaken. Money flow will go back into the red, and we could see another trend to the downside. So over on Bitcoin, probably going to look very similar to futures. We are trying to push forward. We do have a projection that we could hit about 113, but futures would need to hit that as well. RSI is pushing up, stochastic is pushing forward, VWAP is gaining strength, momentum is gaining strength with a bullish divergence. So overall, that does look positive. That could help push us forward, but we need those lower time frames to stay bullish for that to happen. Over on the 1 hour, we do have those higher highs and higher lows that did break us forward. We saw a very strong green candle. We did say watch for some bullish continuation or bull flag here. We did kind of just wick away. We tried to break that 100K, and now we're below it. So this is a pretty crucial spot. Watch for a bull flag to still form in here. If we do make a bull flag here, we could continue forward, but we would need some strong bullish momentum if we're going to break past that 104. VWAP is getting a slightly lower low after a very weak high. Keep an eye on that. If it stays in bearish territory, higher time frames are going to weaken and we would retrace. Our MPP does say there is a chance of breaking that 93K, so just keep that in mind as well. Hopefully you've taken some profits as this was a pretty good run, and everyone did want to say, a lot of people wanted to say the crypto bull market was over. So if you felt that way and you didn't take profits, now's probably the chance. Over on graph for the daily, we are trying to bounce forward off that 20-cent range. Stochastic is pushing up. VWAP is gaining strength. Momentum does want to round forward. And our money flow is in the green, but barely. Watch that VWAP. If it can sustain a bullish push, then that money flow could stay green and push forward. We would need that VWAP and momentum both to push forward here. Over on the 1 hour, we do look like we have that indecisive VWAP. We have a slightly lower high. It's kind of hard to see here. So we have a slightly lower high, and then we are breaking for a lower low below that neutral. Watch if we can't get back above, because we are trying to curl forward. If we can't get back above that neutral, then we would see a rejection and we could break away from this zone. But don't be too worried, because we are seeing stagnation after a push up, and usually your indicators do kind of go flat during this. This is usually how a bull flag does kind of form, and then you will see it push forward out of nowhere. That's why it's important to watch your touches and everything else. So watch that VWAP close. It needs to break and hold that neutral, otherwise we could continue lower there. Over on Anchor for the daily, we are attempting to push forward. So we did wick down, filled that channel. So we will delete that channel real quick, just so that's out of the way. We hit our next resistance of the 3767. VWAP does want to break up. Momentum is gaining strength with a green dot. Stochastic is weakening. Our side does want to push forward, but if the stochastic continues to push down, our side will start to round away and price could fall. We are attempting to make a rounding bottom here. So again, watch for that double bottom and a continuation forward, but we need to break the 40.49 and see some kind of retest and bounce off that if we're going to have a strong, substantial run. Over on XRP for the daily, we are attempting to run forward. So we did have this rising channel. We did invalidate it. So that is positive. Again, that's why you watch for confirmation. We only had one touch to the bottom to make this channel and two to the top. Usually that's why you wait until you get closer to when that channel is going to break down or break up. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is pushing forward. Momentum is gaining strength. VWAP is running up, and money flows in the green. So overall, we do look positive here, and we did break that $3. So we could see some new highs. If we zoom out here on the weekly, we could see some new highs, as this is the highest we have been on this chart. Some people say they've seen higher. I've only seen like a fake wick on Binance being higher, but let me know what you think. Over on the 1 hour, we do have some sort of bullish continuation to form here, so that is positive. That did push us up, but we are pretty overextended, so keep that in mind, because it could end up retracing. You can't shoot for the moon all the time. If you keep shooting for the moon, you will come crashing down, because you're going to run out of gas. VWAP does want to push up. Momentum is gaining strength. Money flow is pushing forward, so I would watch that VWAP. Making that bounce off neutral is positive, but we need it to sustain bullish momentum if we're going to prevent retracing down. Now, our MPP is only projecting about 230, so we may not see those lower price targets like that dollar range, but the higher time frame is actually at a lower projection. Now it was about $1.50, $1.60. Now we're about $1.30, so keep that in mind as well. Over on Algo for the daily, we are attempting to run forward, so I would watch. This could be very positive. We did get very bullish momentum here, again invalidating that channel that was loosely formed and showing why you trade on confirmation. Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is pushing up. That VWAP is in the bullish territory, pushing momentum higher. So watch if that sustains. If it does, money flow will bounce off the neutral here, stay in the green, and push forward. But we need lower time frames to stay bullish for that to happen. Over on the 1 hour, that VWAP is in the bearish territory. Momentum is starting to make bearish divergence. Money flow is running up. But if the VWAP stays bearish and momentum continues to break, money flow will start to retrace and higher time frames would weaken. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and subscribe and join us in the Discord.